Hello, this is Nitin Dahad with EE Times. I'm here at the Texas Instruments Sherman facility here at the opening of the SM1 fab, 300 millimeter fab, and talking to Mohammed Yunus, who's the Senior Vice President for Technology and Manufacturing. Mohammed, hello, how are you?
Good, thank you, Nitin. Thanks for come and visit us.
Well, thank you. And behind us, we've got a bit of the SM1 fab. Obviously, this is not utilized yet, but we've got the main bit right in the distance there. But tell us about the event today.
Yeah, today was the grand opening of the first of our wafer fabs in Sherman. A few years ago, we announced our desire to build 4 wafer fabs in Sherman, which adds capacity to support our analog and embedded portfolio for decades to come. So after 2.5 years of construction and equipping tools, today we celebrated the start of production in SM1.
Okay, well, I mean, this is, you've been sort of appointed right from the beginning in terms of managing the whole expansion. I think, it ended up being a $60 billion investment total.
Correct.
With all the different fabs in here, in Sherman, in Richardson, in Leahy. Just tell us about that journey.
Yeah, it's been an incredible journey for us, investing up to $60 billion in building capacity for analog and embedded chips, which are the foundation of any electronic end equipment. And it's been, for us, trying to ramp up our factory construction, as well as partnering with our suppliers, with our community to build this infrastructure, and also transferring technology into this wafer fab and qualifying. It's probably been one of the most exciting things that I've done in my career here at TI, and I'm really excited about what this fab will do for TI.
So from breaking ground to where we are with SM1, how long did that take?
Yeah, it's been 3.5 years since we broke ground to production start. First we built the fab up from ground up, and then we had to install new tools, qualify the tools, transfer technology, and qualify the process technology, which has gotten us to this 3.5 time year. And we're excited about production start here.
And I mean, Sherman, typically it's power and sensors, isn't it? And that it's feeding that kind of market.
Absolutely. What we're building here is our leading edge analog process technology, which will be used to produce a lot of power management ICs, as well as signal chain chips that we built for TI.
Now, what have been some of the challenges? Because, building a fab in the US, I think that there's been quite a big thing over the last 2 or 3 terms of US administrations to get more indigenous manufacturing. TI has been doing it for a while to try and I think you've put a figure out saying you want to be producing 90% of your own chips. But what have been the challenges? What have you learned from Sherman?
Yeah, I'll start first with the numbers that you mentioned. Our goal is to build over 90% of our chips in our TI facilities using our state-of-the-art process technology and our manufacturing infrastructure. When we started building out this fab, one of the things that we did is we were building it in a community and a location where we've been around for 60 years. So we have our community partners, great relationship with our local city as well as the state of Texas that enabled us to get things started and move in the right direction and really build this factory at a record pace to get this done. Just like any construction projects, there are always challenges, but because of the way we partner with the state of Texas and local community, we've been able to overcome all of that. And also our suppliers, they've been an incredible part of this journey. They've helped us navigate many of the challenges, but we're really proud of what the team has accomplished here.
One of those suppliers is Global Wafers is just here as well, and so I mean it is part of building that ecosystem both locally and nationally, I guess.
Absolutely. I think to operate a 300 millimeter wafer fab, it's not just what TIers do, but also the whole ecosystem that comes together. Wafers are an important part of it, and I think you talk to Global Wafers. They built a brand new facility right next to us that will supply raw wafers to us and the rest of the industry. And in addition to that, I think the local city has done an outstanding job attracting other suppliers to co-locate with us and develop the infrastructure. So they really are building out an infrastructure for semiconductor manufacturing here.
And this is my second fab opening in like 2 months here in the US, and one of the things I'm seeing is there's so much work you have to do with local government. And I know, like at the opening today, you had, the state governor, you had lots of different representatives. For somebody like you who's been an engineer, how's that been? Just trying to make sure that everybody's on side.
For TI, we've operated in the United States for 95 years.
Yeah.
And in North Texas, we've been manufacturing semiconductors. So we have deep relationship at all levels of the government. And most important is to help them understand what we do and the value that it brings to the community. So they've all been together in this journey. And for me personally, being an engineer, we talk facts and numbers, and so do most of our partners in the government as well. They're very invested in making TI successful, and they've helped us navigate pretty much every challenge that has come in our way.
Well, I think it also helps that semiconductors are forefront now in terms of the public eye, because some on the speeches I heard when I heard the state governor talk about semiconductors being essential, I think you wouldn't have heard that 20 years ago.
Absolutely. I think semiconductors are essential to every end equipment, the things that we use every day, and also to national defense and for the infrastructure, including the AI infrastructure that we're building out in this country. So TI plays a huge role in that. And I think semiconductors are important for the future of any economy, and we've had incredible support at the federal level as well as the state level.
Now, getting into the detail, it's 300 millimeter fab. I think I heard you say you're sunsetting your 6-inch fab. What does that mean in terms of bringing people on and putting them onto the 300 millimeter?
Yeah, that's a
12-inch?
great question, Nitin. We've operated a wafer fab in Sherman for 60 years. It was a 6-inch wafer fab. A few years ago, we announced that we are sunsetting our 6-inch manufacturing. Around the same time, we also announced the start of construction of 300 millimeter. So as we sunset our 6-inch, we've been able to retrain, retool some of our talent from our 6-inch facility to our 12-inch facility. And also, we've been able to move talent around North Texas, where we have a huge base from a manufacturing standpoint to help support the ramp of this factory.
Now, I know we talked about this being analog, power and sensors, but I don't think any foundry has given numbers. But what kind of volume do you see going through SM1? I mean, kind of not full capacity yet, but when it's at capacity, SM1, and then well, just now, right now.
Sure. SM1, when fully built out, we would have capability to build hundreds of millions of semiconductor chips every day out of this facility. And we've built 2 factories, SM1 and SM2. SM1 has its clean room, and we've got tools installed, and we're ramping this facility. And as this fills out with our end market and customer demand, we would begin to install tools in SM2 and continue ramping that. So this has the ability to support our customer demand throughout this decade and beyond.
And obviously, we see big empty space at the moment. So what are the triggers to sort of make, tool this up and then start work on SM2?
Yeah, really, the longest part of adding capacity is building out the fab, the clean room, qualifying the process technology, and getting our customers to qualify our manufacturing process. And so we've successfully done that, and we've started production. And so we have capability to support the demand over the next 12 months or so. And beyond that, obviously we continue to add capacity on a daily basis, both here and in our Richardson facility. So the end market and the customer demand will drive the pace at which this factory fills out.
Right. Give us some context. I mean, why is it important for Texas Instruments to be doing SM1, SM2, SM3, SM4, and also Richardson and Leahy? You've been responsible for this whole big expansion. Why is it significant?
Yeah, absolutely. TI, we make foundational semiconductors in analog and embedded, which really goes into every end equipment or every electronic system that's out there. When you think about the semiconductor content in every end equipment we use, it continues to grow, be it cars or the factories or our personal devices. And so we are pretty confident about demand for semiconductors well out into the future. And we also want to be able to build out capacity to support that future demand. So the investments that we're making right here in Sherman and also in Utah is towards fulfilling that ambition to have the capacity to support future demand for TI products. And TI is unique. We're one of the only or few foundational semiconductor companies that designs our chips, develops the process technology, and manufactures them in our own facility, which gives us the ability to control and ramp these factories to support our customers wherever they are.
And you have your own assembly facilities as well.
Yes, we also own and operate our assembly and test facilities. They are situated all across the globe. We have one in North America, in Mexico, as well as in Asia Pacific, in Philippines, in Malaysia, in Taiwan, and in China, that support our customers no matter where they are.
I mean, you've been doing this since the project started. What's exciting you now? I mean, this is now done. What's next for you?
Yeah, I think this is an incredible and an important milestone to get here. It's been a lot of work from our teams to get this thing up and running, qualified, and ready for production. And now our goal is to continue to ramp this wafer fab to support our customers for the future, and of course, continue to innovate. And the opportunity that we have is how do we use all the data that this factory generates to continue to optimize the throughput of this factory, get better yields, better quality, and also better output out of our factory to drive our goal for long-term cost efficiency.
Well, you made actually an important point there, which we haven't talked about, which is using AI on the tools that I think all the foundries at fab
Yes.
are trying to figure out how to do that. We're still early days, isn't that?
Absolutely. I think the amount of data that a wafer fab generates on an hourly basis in the terabytes of data, and the opportunity is how do you generate the right kind of data, how do you curate that data, and how do you make sense out of the data to drive real-time decisions in the factory floor, but also ability to step back and look at the macro data, and how do you optimize not just the factory, but the efficiency of the designs to get the most for our customers. So it's a huge opportunity that we continue to innovate and work on.
Using AI to build AI.
Absolutely.
Well, Mohammed Yunus, thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming over here.
Thank you.